also this. The crunch of the bread, the acid of the tomatoes, and the creaminess of the cheese. Yeah, you need to try this.
Tonight we're also making bruschetta. The first step in that is to make some crostinis. So this is a lovely piece of French bread that I got at the farmer's market yesterday. I let it sit out so that it's slightly stale, which is good for crostinis because you don't want them to be so fresh that when you cut them they all fall apart because they're too fresh. And this is what, about 1/4 of an inch?
That looks about right.
And you just carefully cut your baguette into 1/4 of an inch crostinis. And then we'll take it from there.
We have a visitor.
Oh, Daisy, I know, you like bread. You can have the heel. Because I can't make that into a crostini anyways.
Uh-oh, more visitors.
Fortunately, I have another end piece. Okay, you can see I have my nicely sliced baguette, and you just kind of brush each one of them with a little bit of olive oil and put them on a cookie tray. I line mine with parchment because I don't like to clean up the oil off my cookie sheets. Bruschetta is tomatoes and basil and garlic all mixed together. And kind of basil, use any kind of basil you want. So if all you can get is the green Italian basil, that's great. It's not going to affect your bruschetta. I just like the added little pop of color from the purple. At the farmer's market yesterday and couldn't resist them. I've been so hungry for tomatoes and it's still a little early in the season, but they look so good. So when I cut tomatoes, I always cut them on a plastic cutting board because I like to capture all the juices, and for something like bruschetta you really want to capture all the juices. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make these into a fine dice. Well, not really fine, a chop. Plastic cutting board because I can pick this up and just dump it into my bowl and all of the juices and everything go with it. Next I add about 4 cloves of pressed garlic. Mix it in there. All this basil that I chopped, it's 2 colors, so it'll be really pretty in the bruschetta. Get that in there. Healthy amount of fresh ground pepper. Now 1 teaspoon to 2 teaspoons of salt. And just sprinkle it on. Let this sit for a couple hours because we're not ready to eat dinner yet. We have to go to a baseball game first. But this will be a great dinner when we get back. Alright, there's your crostinis. Okay, it's time to build our bruschetta. So we have here our bruschetta mixture from earlier. It sat and all the flavors had melded. So I use burrata cheese. If you haven't had this before, it's fresh mozzarella with like a very creamy interior. It is so delicious. And then we use a little bit of prosciutto. So the first thing I do is I put a little bit of burrata on each crostini, and I just kind of spread it around so it covers it. And then I put some prosciutto on, and then to that I add some of the bruschetta mix to each crostini. And it's time consuming, but it tastes delicious.
Ludicrous speed!
For ludicrous speed! Fasten all seatbelts! Seal all entrances and exits! Close all shops in the mall! Cancel the three-ring circus! Secure all animals in the zoo!
Give me that, you petty excuse! Ludicrous speed!
Sir, hadn't you better buckle up?
Now buckle this!
So this. The crunch of the bread, the acid of the tomatoes, and the creaminess of the cheese.